Today, we've got a really fascinating story for you. It's called The Story of AWS Server Management and WordPress Migration Away from Plesk cPanel Using AI as Server Admin. It's a mouthful, but it's a journey about saving money, learning new skills, and, well, having an AI as your personal sysadmin.
Hey everyone. Yeah, I'm really excited about this one, Avery. It's based on a blog post by Kumar, and it's such a perfect example of how things are changing. It's not just about big corporations using AI, but about one person tackling a super technical problem.
Exactly. So let's set the scene. For years, the author was running about 15 websites, mostly WordPress, on an AWS server. To manage everything, he was using a popular tool called Plesk. It's got a great graphical interface, makes things easy, but it comes at a cost.
A rising cost. He noticed that the price for his server and the yearly Plesk license just kept going up and up. We're talking about an EC2 M5 A.large instance plus that Plesk license. It was adding up to over $1,000 a year just for the license.
Right, so altogether, he was paying around $1,744 a year for 15 websites that, weren't even that heavy on traffic. That's a lot. It's over $100 per site per year.
Which is excessive. And here's the kicker. He wasn't a Linux expert. He knew that hiring a server admin would cost way more than Plesk, so he felt kinda stuck.
Until he had an idea. Instead of hiring a human expert, why not consult an AI expert? So he opened up Claude.ai and just laid out the whole problem. He basically said, hey, I'm paying this much for this many sites. It feels like too much. Is there a better way?
And Claude's response was like immediate validation. It started with, "You're absolutely right that you're overpaying." I loved that. It then broke down three different alternatives.
Yeah, it gave him real options. Option 1 was AWS Lightsail for simplicity. Option 2 was to get a smaller server and use a free control panel, which would save around $1,400 a year.
And then there was option 3, the hybrid approach, which I think is so cool. It said, keep your powerful server, but ditch the expensive Plesk license. That alone saves you $1,000. Then use all those extra server resources for other things, like running your own AI models or development projects.
That was the one he went for. He was excited. He had this detailed step-by-step plan generated by the AI. So he thought, okay, let me show this to some human experts, some AWS developers, and see if they can help implement it for a reasonable price.
Oh boy, the human expert part. This is where it gets wild. So he sends them the AI's plan. First, it takes them 2 to 3 weeks just to respond.
Weeks! Okay.
And then they come back with a quote. Get this, $4,000 and 45 to 50 days to get it done.
No way. $4,000 to follow a plan that was already written for them? That's insane.
Right? So he was obviously disappointed and just decided, you know what? If you want it done, you got to do it yourself. So one Saturday afternoon, he just started.
But not before consulting his AI partner one more time. He thought, wait, is the M5A.large server even the right one to stick with? So he asked Claude, and it came back with an even better recommendation, a T3A.xlarge instance.
And this is the best part. It had double the CPUs and double the RAM for almost the same price. Plus, it used this burstable performance model, which is perfect for websites because they're idle most of the time anyway.
So, with the new server spec'd out, he chose Alma Linux for the operating system for stability, and Claude recommended a free control panel called CyberPanel. Now he had all the pieces.
And then the migration began. He followed the AI's guide phase by phase, setting up the server, migrating the first website, which was actually his own blog.
Gotta test it on your own stuff first? That's brave.
Totally. Of course, it wasn't perfectly smooth. He ran into this weird issue, the ghost in the machine, where some sites had caching conflicts from the old server. But every time he got stuck, he'd just copy-paste the error into Claude.
And the AI would just, given the diagnosis, the commands to run, the steps to fix it. It was like having a senior developer on call 24/7 for just $20 a month. The result? A project quoted at over $4,000 and 45 days was done by himself in less than 15 working hours.
It's just incredible. He's not a server administrator, but he had some basic knowledge of things like SSH. With that foundation and his AI partner, he accomplished this expert-level task and is now saving $1,200 a year.
It really proves that the barrier to entry for this kind of technical work is changing. It's not just about what you already know anymore. It's about your willingness to learn and engage with these tools as a partner.
Absolutely. So a huge thanks to Gaurav for sharing his story. For our listeners, you can find the full detailed post at gaurav.com. We highly recommend the read.
And a question for all of you, have you ever used AI to tackle a big technical project that felt out of reach? Let us know. We'd love to hear your stories. That's all for us today. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye, everyone.